Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to your March 2021 reading. I'm so excited you are here. If this is your first time here, thanks so much for joining me. If you are returning, thanks so much for coming back. I absolutely love and appreciate every single comment, all of your likes, any shares. Every time you hit that bell or that subscription button, you know, I appreciate and I feel your energy. So thank you so much for that. All right, so March 2021, well, February 26th, 27th, there is a full moon in Virgo. And I really thought, you know, it's kind of interesting that this month of March is starting as February is finishing on this full moon. So I went to the Moonology Oracle deck and I wanted to look up the teaching from the book in the Moonology deck. And this is what it says. It says the full moon in Virgo is a time to declutter your life, your home and office. It's time to sort what's good in your life from what's not serving you. It's also time to clear out your energies via salt baths, meditations, and to practice getting more grounded by walking barefoot. No matter when you draw this card, it's a reminder that any time is a good time to start living a healthier life. And I just thought, oh, I also want to read this, the Attuned to the Moon. Find a balance between the cosmic and the mundane in your daily life. And I thought that was a beautiful way really to be starting this month of March. So as we get into each reading, I just wanted to, you know, keep in mind that as we are embracing this new month of March, we are ending February with this beautiful full moon in Virgo. Okay, so Virgos, with this full moon being in your sign, you guys might be feeling it a little bit more than most. Keep in mind, this is a general reading, guys, so it might not fit for everybody. If you don't find resonation within it, and Virgo is your sun sign, maybe check out your moon sign or your Venus sign. This is a Virgo reading for sun, moon, rising, Venus. Maybe you just have a lot of Virgo in your chart. Let us see what is coming for the Virgos after this Virgo full moon. All right, one more shuffle here. Spirit, what do you have for the Virgos for the month of March 2021? Going forward from this full moon, what is the overall energy here after this full moon and the month of March here? Thank you, Spirit. Wow, 2 of Swords, Virgo, and the 9 of Swords. Okay, well, that's, yeah, you know, and remember how I just said you guys might be feeling this full moon a little more so? That could be this energy, okay? Because the 2 of Swords energy is all about feeling blocked, you know, not really being able to see which path you want to take. Clearly, it's kind of like feeling stuck. And the 9 of Swords is about, to me, it's about mental fuckery, you know? It really is. It's about that mind, like that mind twistedness, you know? It can be anxiety, it can be worries, it can be fears, but it's very much like, this to me is very much mind-based. And oftentimes when oftentimes myself, I feel that when the full moon has done like gone through one of my signs. I'm a Sun Libra, but I'm also an Aquarius moon. So that last Aquarian moon that we went through, I felt very much in my mind space. And that's kind of what I feel like this energy going forward from that full moon could be feeling like for you guys. All right, so the heart of the matter though here for the Virgos going forward, heart of the matter here for the Virgos after this full moon. Guys, what's going on in your mind? We got the 8 of Air. Holy smokes. Again, feeling very trapped, feeling very stuck, very much kind of in the victim mentality space. What are you afraid of? What are the Virgos afraid of here with this energy? Thank you. The 3 of Pentacles. Interesting. All right, what is supporting Virgos? What past influence is supporting the Virgos here? The Hermit, yourself, look at that. Okay, what is challenging? Past influence is challenging, King of Water. Okay, what do the Virgos promise themselves here? Wow, High Priestess. Again, that's your own energy. That's so intense with the Page of Earth. Holy smokes, and potential outcome. 8 of Fire. Okay. All right. Well, underlying here, look at this, Virgo. There's the Chariot. the Three of Swords and the Ten of Cups. Okay, so the Chariot is all about you taking control here, you taking the destiny, taking the reins, deciding in which way you are going. You have the Three of Swords after that, which is heartbreak. Okay, and then the Ten of Cups after that. That is emotional fulfillment. So which way are you steering your train there, my Virgo friends? Which direction is that chariot moving? You know, you are the one mastering this chariot. Which direction are you going? Are you going to release yourself from, you know, that Three of Swords energy, that heartbreak, that mind space, or are you going to embrace happiness, or are you going to be stuck with all these swords? I'm going with, you got to release yourself here, because the heart of the matter was the Eight of Swords, and that is about releasing yourself from this idea of feeling trapped. Current energy going forward, though, from this full moon, we had the Two of Swords and we had the Nine of Swords. You know, and I do feel like that is very much where I feel like you're being stuck behind some sort of fear, some sort of worry, some sort of like mind game, maybe. You know, maybe it's just where your fears and your worries are running rampant, and they are keeping you stuck, kind of keeping you, you know, trapped like a hostage here. Let's get one for the Two of Swords. Can we get a clarifier here for that overall energy in the Two of Swords, Spirit? Tower. And the Empress in reverse. Interesting. Okay, so this Two of Swords was the Tower, you know, and the Tower, you know, what could really be blocking you here, some sort of structure needs to come down. There has to be some sort of change here. Something needs to happen. Now, maybe this is something, you know, that you were wanting to see happen and it didn't, it came down. You know, what you thought was there wasn't actually really there. And I do feel like it's almost as though you are trying to hold that tower together. You know, that Two of Swords is like not being able to move forward, not being able to allow the tower to crumble. But in order for our lives to move forward, in order for us to continue to build, you know, solid foundations within our life, we have to allow structures that aren't meant for us to crumble. Okay. And often we do, guys, we do build structures within our lives, you know, more than once, that have to come down. You know, that's just the way life is. Sometimes there are certain things within life that, as much as we, you know, put effort into building it, it wasn't meant to stand the test of time. It wasn't meant to be what we thought it is. Now, this Nine of Swords here, it was clarified by the Empress in reverse. And to me, this is where, again, it's almost as though that fear of not being able to bring what you want to life. Okay, maybe, you know, that's what that Tower moment is. Maybe something came apart and you were like, I thought that was going to be this, you know, and now you're stuck in this headspace of like, why didn't it work out? Why couldn't I manifest that? Why couldn't I bring that to fruition here? And keep in mind that Virgo for full moon energy can very much be weighing heavy on you and really challenging your mental clarity. Okay, so this heart of the matter, though, look, was the Eight of Swords, you know, and that's really where we need to, you can see, I love in the Good Tarot, I love this depiction of it, because Colette Baron Reid really wrote this, all the depictions within this, or sorry, all of the outlines within the Book of the Good Tarot here were all very inspiring, all very growing, you know. And the Eight of Swords is oftentimes in traditional tarot very trapping, okay, surrounded by swords, unable to see. And in this depiction, Colette Baron Reid really wanted to look like, to show that no, you are freeing yourself. You know, this angel is releasing all of these feathers here, all of these hardships, all these burdens, all of these swords that have been stuck to her. You know, she's releasing them. And I feel like that's what needs to happen here. There's some sort of, and again, guys, there's a lot of swords here, and that's within your mind space. So there is, again, some sort of energy here that needs to switch with inside of self. You know, some sort of freedom from that mental fuckery, okay? From that toxic kind of thinking, from that trapped thinking. You know, there needs to be this freedom of self in which you acknowledge that you are not the victim here. Death and rebirth. Okay, it's calling you to do this rebirth of self in order to free yourself here from this. All I keep hearing is mental fuckery, and I really don't want to swear on these, but that's all that like my spirit guides are like, that's what it is. Like, that shit's intense. Okay, but it is looking at it here and rebirthing yourself, acknowledging that, wait a minute, I'm not that victim. I do not need to be trapped or blocked from going forward here. Even this Nine of Swords within this depiction, Colette Baron Reid, this Nine of Swords, this girl isn't hung up with, you know, in agony from mental pain. No, she's releasing herself from the mental pain. Okay, she's releasing herself from thinking that she's not good enough, or for thinking that you know, her fears are going to take over her life, or whatever the case may be, right? She's releasing herself, freeing herself from that kind of negative, toxic thinking. What you are afraid of here is the Three of Earth. This could be teamwork. For some of you, it can be really this energy of freeing yourself from where you have been afraid. Maybe it was a toxic relationship in the past. Maybe it was toxic relationships within the past. Maybe it was dreams and hopes and things that you thought, opportunities that you thought, hey, I'm going to build this, and then it didn't work out, and it shut you down. It made you feel like, oh, nothing that I have to create is going to be worth it, right? And I feel, you know, what you're afraid of here with this teamwork energy can even be maybe where, like, that reliance on others, you know, and not reliance, but more like when you build a team, you rely on other people within your team to stand, you know, to be a part of it, right? And I maybe feel like that could be some of this fear that you have. You have the Judgment, though, and the Temperance energy. And this is so beautiful because the Judgment is about surrendering. It's about really allowing yourself just to be part of the divine plan. Okay, opening yourself up to the blessings that the divine has for you. And that doesn't mean that, you know, we're going to live these beautiful, you know, wonderful lives with no challenges going forward. No, no, no. That's not what that means, okay? Life is about challenges. Life is about growth. And in order to do growth, we must encounter uncomfortable situations within our lives, okay? But this Judgment energy is that freedom from that challenging kind of low vibration energy here. You know, it's that freedom to realize that, okay, just because things may be challenging at the time doesn't mean that it's not part of the divine plan. Temperance, being patient, being present, being persistent, understanding this energy and this balance within inside of self that is needed. And you can see here that he's holding both the sun and the moon, because we need both that action side of life and that inner knowing and that inner guidance. We are, you know, in order to be balanced individuals, in order for our actions to be authentic to ourself and our being and our soul, it must be guided by that inner knowing, you know, by that intuition. What guides our intuition is no more than the divine. And maybe that's what this fear is. You know, maybe for you, that Three of Pentacles is where you go forward building with the divine, connecting your dreams and your manifestations to a divine purpose, to divine light, to divine energy, right? It is a very hard thing. It is a very scary thing to put faith into something. And maybe that is what is scaring you here, is like, okay, well, if I put faith in this divine, is this going to work the way that I wanted it to manifest? Well, it might not work exactly the way you wanted it to manifest, but it is going to manifest and be something beautiful if you allow the divine to be the co-creator with you. What is supporting you in the past here was the Hermit energy. And the Hermit energy is a card of yourself for sure, but it is also very much the energy of inward reflection. Finding that light within inside of self, Virgo. Finding that connection to divinity. Finding that connection to the inner light. And when we find that connection towards our inner light, it's very hard to ignore. Yeah, look at Queen of Cups. It's very hard to ignore the connection to spirit. Okay, the freedom that comes with connecting to divine, whatever that is, religiously, doesn't matter, but spiritual is what we're talking here. Okay, so connecting yourself to the higher is this energy of the Queen of Cups, because this is that intuition. This is that inner guidance, that inner knowing. And you can see the power that comes from her when she sits and allows herself to surrender into the depths of divinity, you know, of spirituality. I feel with this inner reflection on what's supporting you here is, again, it doesn't necessarily need to have a religious background to it, but it is some sort of connection here to, maybe it is even connection just to self, and sitting with the depths of self here, Virgo. Really understanding what Virgo looks like, who Virgo is emotionally, intuitively, you know, and such a real on such a real deep level. I love that energy for that. Now, what's challenging you, though, is the King of Cups. And isn't that interesting that what's supporting you here was this Queen of Cups, but what's challenging you is the action steps here. You know, divine masculine energy. For some of you, for sure, that challenging energy can be, you know, maybe a partner that you've had or have. You know, maybe they're a cup sign, so maybe they're a water sign. Cancer, oh my gosh, Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio. But again, we're looking at energies here. Okay, so what I do feel like challenging you here is where you've connected to these depths, to this emotional, to this spiritual, whatever. But what you have struggled with is actually putting that into action, putting that faith into actual tangible practice within life. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. Eight of Wands and the Page of Swords. Yeah. You know, and it's all kind of like a new change for you. I feel like this whole inward reflection, connecting to a higher, all of that, I feel like is very new for your soul here. I feel, you know, and that's going to apply only to some for sure, but I do feel like there is that sense of newness, especially here with this Eight of Wands and this Page of Swords, because I feel like you're just kind of learning. It's almost like this, King of Cups, you know, why it was maybe challenging for you to show up with those action steps of that spirituality and that depth of, you know, your soul or whatever, was because you're kind of in this beginner stage of this, you know, I'm learning, you know, yes, okay, there is this positive change within me, but I'm still learning how to really put that into tangible action. I'm still really learning how to put that into practice in my everyday space. And the Page of Swords is, again, there's that in the mind, and it's kind of like figuring out, okay, so this is how I want to think, this is how I want to go forward, now this is how I'm going to apply that or assert that in my everyday life. But what you promised yourself here was the High Priestess and the Page of Pentacles. And again, there's that connecting to the intuition, connecting to divinity, connecting to the divine, seeing beyond the veil. And the Page of Pentacles is about, you guessed it, putting it into tangible practice, putting it into actual, you know, practice in your tangible space, right? Beginning that cycle, beginning that new process, aligning to that intuitiveness, and then putting that into practice. Yeah, look at that. Page of Wands. Well, we got a lot of pages out here, Virgos, because I do feel like going forward from this full moon, this is a brand new full self that you're going through, that you're embracing. Okay, and here you are, Page of Wands. And I love this depiction of this, because isn't it beautiful how she, like, you can see the patterns there with those circles, and she just throws her wands up and she's like, I'm not repeating the past. Okay, I'm going forward here spiritually as a different person. Okay, and spiritually, again, that's not about religiously, but that's about who you connect to for divine light, divine purpose, okay? Ace of Pentacles, there's a brand new tangible beginning here as you embrace this new opportunity of self. You know, here's that Page of Earth, here's that Page of Pentacles, and here's that gift from Spirit. Okay, that tangible new gift from Spirit here saying, yep, go forward. This one's for you. This is the pentacle that is going to grow. This is the pentacle you can plant and this life that you can build now going forward. So, potential outcome, keep in mind, free will changes things at all times, but Eight of Wands is the energy, you know, in which you are working towards here. That's that positive change. That's that positive influence from Spirit, you know. Look at that, Queen of Swords. There she is. It's that clarity within your mind here, you know, and I feel that, you know, as you work through this, Virgo, and you really are accountable for that mind fuckery that happens within your own space. You are very accountable for releasing yourself from that negativity, accountable from releasing yourself from any cage or limitations that have been put on you by the past. You know, anything that's restricting you or blocking you or making you feel trapped, limited. You are releasing yourself here from that. Okay, and I feel that, again, there's some divine feminine energy here. We have the High Priestess and the Queen of Cups and this Queen of Swords, because it is about listening to that intuition. You know, the Queen of Swords, she listens to that intuition and she's very crystal clear on what that intuition says. And she follows that. Okay, she's sitting up on the mountaintop by herself because she doesn't need others to support her thinking. She just knows intuitively, this is it. This is my truth. This is what I stand for. This is me. Okay, she's crystal clear in that. And those are the beginnings. Those are the sparks that are really starting and taking, you know, beginning to manifest here. That's a lot. you know, looking past the opportunities that were spilled here, looking past the cups that didn't work out, and really acknowledging and accepting this cup of opportunity here for spirit, you know, because I feel like there has been some things that you've been hung up on, things that didn't work out, opportunities, and, you know, things that you were emotionally or energetically kind of tied to that kind of got spilt, and they didn't happen. Like that tower moment, right? They just didn't work out. They weren't meant for you. But it's about acknowledging that cup here that spirit has for you. There's a change of directions that is before you. Choosing the path now. Are you going to allow yourself to be caught in that mental fuckery, or are you going to embrace this happiness? Just like that Chariot, the Three of Swords, and the Ten of Cups on the bottom of that deck, right? Which direction are you choosing to go now? Which direction is Virgo opening themselves up to here? Emotional healing, happiness, Nine of Cups, absolutely. You know, that dream, that wish fulfillment, that dream come true kind of energy, right? Beautiful, beautiful energy, beautiful potential outcome here. But it is going to take being accountable for your own, for your thinking. You know, it is going to be, it is going to take you being accountable for that, the limitations that have been put on you here, and whether or not you are going to remain chained and victimed to them, or whether or not you're ready to free yourself. All right, let's see what Spirit's guidance is for you, Virgo, here going forward. What is your guidance here for the Virgos going forward? Three of Wands, absolutely. Choosing that path of authenticity, choosing what is going to emotionally, spiritually serve you, your road, your purpose, your happiness. It's holding yourself, again, accountable to those higher vibrations, you know, moving yourself away, acknowledging with the Five of Cups behind that, acknowledging that, yes, there has been some hard shit. Okay, there has been some heartbreaks, and there has been, you know, there has been cups that have been spilt. Absolutely, you know, that's fine, but you are moving past that. You are committing yourself here with this messenger of earth to show up. That's the Knight of Earth here, Knight of Pentacles, to show up every day and continue to put one foot in front of the other, moving yourself in the direction of healing, in the direction of growth, manifestations, you know, the direction in which your intuition is guiding you to follow. Beautiful. All right, so to finish it off, we are going to pull a spirit animal oracle here for the energy to embrace going forward. Turkey, wow. Give with gratitude and grace. Turkey Spirit's message for you is that you always have the potential for manifesting a rich reality, for the turkey represents generosity and a celebration of abundance through giving to others. Give freely without expectation, and you shall receive, for the manifestation of abundance is happening right now. Align with it by sharing your good fortune with others, whether you give money, loving guidance, the gift of listening, or kindness in any form. Immerse yourself in the flow of generous abundance, being a channel for Turkey Spirit and the desire of Spirit to see all beings experience the blessings of plenty. Give with gratitude and grace from a wellspring of love and compassion, knowing that Spirit will respond by giving you all that you need in this moment and all the moments to come. Oh my gosh, guys, my dog is laying right beside me, and he totally just farted and crapped his pants, and oh my dear Lord, I might choke out and die. All right, Virgos, what a beautiful reading. Thank you so much for being here. If you did enjoy this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It helps it get it circulated, as my channel is just growing, so I appreciate every last one of your subscriptions or bell notifications, all of your likes, all of your shares. Also, if you did find resonation with this video and you would be interested in a free reading, please be sure to drop a yellow heart in the description box or a sunflower emoji at the end of every month. I collect all of those comments. Each one is a ballot for a free a free reading at the end of every month. All right, Virgos, until next time, take great care of your beautiful soul. Bye now.